Heilbronn. Robert Maurer, most prominent personality of Heilbronn. How long your monument was hidden, disgraceful, until it was finally positioned on the marketplace. Käthchen can be just better merchandised. Observatory, together with you, now part of the history of the observatory. Together with you, met him. Afternoons and evenings in the threesome, lived far away, saw you not so often. You saw yourselves more often. You knew him better. Did someone know him? I'm standing at the blackboard next to the clock, where now the cupboard stands in front, and thought that I should actually be able to conclude from the data that I had for smaller telescopes regarding to their limiting magnitude, what a limiting magnitude I can expect for somewhat larger telescopes. You interpolate? I did not know it. Did not know what interpolating is. You wanted to establish an association. I asked why one could not simply join up to make guided tours, community college, to observe together. Had made negative experiences. ALB, second chairman. Not wanted yet again. Laupheim, again Laupheim. The decision was made. I left the observatory. Sure, you have made the right decision. A few years later we met in the pedestrian zone. You did advertising for the opening day. Through the telescope one could observe the sun. We get into a conversation. I became a member of the observatory, quickly second chairman and later executive secretary. Made many guided tours, preferably for children and teenagers, for school classes, community college. He was there not anymore. Soon he was not anymore. Today I'm no longer a member. Never mind. He is no longer there. You are no longer there. The place so familiar, the people so unfamiliar, although nearly the same remained. Always the same rituals, meetings, discussions, posts. Tiring, boring, meaningless. How beautiful is to observe the moon, the sun, the planets, the stars, the celestial objects. Only the guided tours I'm missing somewhat. Whether my series of lectures will help? Stuttgart. You are the most beautiful, at least the most beautiful I ever saw. Which I have heard of, can imagine. Never mind that you have no black ballerinas, what hurts me. It's the place, the buildings, the location, the charm, what constitutes you. The many plants in the houses, from the desert into the jungle into the mountains. Crocodiles. The whole world in its inexhaustible richness, shapes, colors, structures, textures, smells. The trees and bushes, avenues with birds running therein and breeding, redwoods striding towards the sky, old, much older than I, and much older than I they will still become. The carnivorous plants, they would delight the French woman. If Emily would be my guest, I would love to show her them. Pretty idea. How tenderly they take life. Many times I have had the imagination that they could exist 100 times bigger, and I thought to become a part of them. But the most beautiful the water lilies, thereon a Frenchman would have had his pleasure. When they bloom in the summer in all their diversity, on their edge the visitor sitting, rejoicing in them. I never said, when slowly past, have surrounded you, melancholy. There are too many animals that one would have to mention. All have their eligibility, all their beauty. Like a woman they appear. All live their lives, all die their death. As you are gone, her. At her I was always standing for a long time. The gorgeous body, elegant, powerful, dignified, the permeating eyes, fascinating, magical, captivating, the deadly teeth and painful claws. You know what I always wished. Later, you lay at your favorite place most of all, only that it was never there to me. That you were getting tired, that also you one day no longer are. Are you sad? That you were not allowed to hunt and kill in the wilderness? I would be it. The many beautiful birds. Why I'm getting sad when I see the condor in his aviary. Not at the vultures, not at the eagles. Condor, yes. I like zoos. I'm happy as a child that they exist, but you make me sad. How gladly I would love to see you in a sky, unattainable, high wafting, silently, knowing what you are looking for. When they sit and eat, it almost seems as if you could sit next to you, maybe not to the silverback, but to the females and the younger, the small, almost like human children. Shaggy and orange. Preferably I would hug you, sit next to you to chat with you. You seem to me like good friends. How I envy you carers, although this is somewhat naive. The polar bears. When they swim in the water, gladly I would like to swim with you. How gladly stand in front of you as in Dover. As I went to Museum for Polar Traveler, right at the entrance, just around the corner, suddenly standing in front of an erected polar bear, larger than me, larger than my head his paw. It would be a bagatelle for you, even for the young bears. But I belong to another. In a beautiful house you live. What a contrast. You are so light, fragile, delicate. A small wisp of wind takes you with. But where are your sisters? Butterflies so beautiful. Dragonflies can do things that you cannot. Begrudge you them? Or is it enough for you that you please the visitors, not they? All the little animals. Are you received too little attention? Turtle, too ordinary. Cows? I like you. Also the insects. Why ugly? If they were humans. Heilbronn. To the me repeatedly confusing moments in my youth belongs an evening in the chess club. I was, at that time, still a pupil, had not yet begun my apprenticeship, was no older than early 15, completely introverted. I'm not sure how I made it. Sure, by bus to the town. The chess club, Cave 61, at that time was actually a cave. In other words, it was a cellar with a vault. On the market square, in the city center, bus stop right in front of it. The get back irritates me more. On the one hand, the concerts did not start early. On the other hand, in the evening drove barely buses or none at all. And I had, at that age, no permission to go out long. Sure, I stayed only a little and went long before the end of the concert, to which I cannot remember. I still remember a main drape and then the vault. I was very impressed. And then all visitors signed in a book, even I. And I was very proud when I wrote my name. More I honestly do not know anymore. Also not how I got the idea, how I managed it to put it into practice. Many a time I astonish myself about to what I was capable of in those rare moments. Unfortunately, it remained rare moments. Thank you for listening.